Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to demonstrate H2O's new hybrid cloud system. So what is that? If you've seen H2O, this will make sense to some degree, but this is allowing me to do the Python client, which you're seeing here, and then it's going to go straight into MLOps. It's going to create an API endpoint. I'm going to be able to A/B test or champion challenger the individual experiments, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here in the Python client, and I'm going to show you what's actually happening in the GUI. So right in the beginning, you can see that I'm just logging in. It's called Steam is their client. I log into the instance that I already have running, right? So here is an instance. I can always click launch instance if I want and create a new instance name. This is going to provision the EC2 instance on the back end. You can see there's GPUs and all the other different kind of parameters. And I'm showing you that I'm clicking here in the GUI, but you don't have to do that. You could also come back to the client and rather than get instance, which is obviously getting the instance I already have, right? You can create like a start instance method and it'll work. Here is I'm going to upload the data set. Now I'm going to use the Iris data set, but I've demoed this on not an Iris data set. It works all the same and it can come from, your local system. This is just coming from S3, which is fantastic. So when I initialize this guy, it's going to think for a second, it's going to run, and then it's going to upload the data set. So when I'm inside of Steam, if I click on IF demo, right, which is my EC2 instance, and I come in here, I'm going to go here, and you can see that I actually am uploading the data sets. You can see I have 3 because I've forced this push a couple times. And so data sets are up, great. Now what do we do? From the Jupyter Lab, you can see that it's created it. Column C5, just so you know, is the target column in this demo. So now I can create an experiment, and I'm going to call it Iris Demo 1. So if you give it half a second, it'll start giving me some insight. So it says experiment launched. If I come back into the H2I and I go to experiments, you can see that Demo 1 has run. I've already ran a demo. And if I click on this guy, it's going to start giving me some information from driverless AI. And so it's telling me, I have target leaks right now, and you can actually tell it to automatically drop target leaks, so you don't even have to go in and re-clean your data if you want. If you be like, hey, it's too high, I only want column C1 and C2 because those AUCs are, reasonable. These others are dead giveaways. Okay, great. So it's going to come in here. It's going to run the H2O experiment. Cool. It's going to do all the feature concatenation, all that different stuff. That's the, if I have other videos on entire H2O driverless AI, what's happening here. So here's the confusion matrix and how it's currently scoring. Here's the ROC curve, right? Obviously it's really good because I got some target leaks. Precision recall curve, right? Again, really good. Lift, gains, chaos. Here's the GPU usage, so I can actually see when things are being sent to the GPU. So again, this is not the important part of this demo. Kicked off an experiment, fantastic. It's going to finish here any second, and when I come down to Jupyter Lab, it'll say, building the Mojo pipeline. The Mojo pipeline is their Java pipeline, right? So this is actually what's going to go to prod. Now, as it's finalizing building the Python scoring pipeline, so it builds you a Java and a Mojo automatically. If I come into experiment and then I go to projects, you can see that I've already created a project, Iris Demo, and you can see that I only have the original Iris Demo. I don't have the Iris Demo 1 that I've created. So when I come back to the Python client, this guy is now complete. I can actually see the projects again from the client. So if I run this guy right here, I'm just going to go clients.projects, list them out, and it's just going to show me what's in the GUI, right? So I have the Iris project demo, and then if I go back one, Iris project demo, click in, right? There's the GUI. It's going to show me the experiment. I only have a single Iris demo. Fantastic. Now what I want to do is I want to link the experiment that I just ran with this guy. So I'm going to do project.link. So it's going to come through here. It's going to rerun, obviously, the print statements that I have there. And then it's going to link the project at the very end from the latest experiment that I have. So you can see that it's there, right? I have driverless AI project. It linked the experiment. Now if I come back to projects, refresh the page, look at that. I have Iris Demo 1 is this first guy. So just completed, right? Fantastic, all that fun stuff. So now I have a bunch of things like local, deploy, all that stuff. But at this point, I'm actually going to show you how we can go into driverless AI or go into Hybrid Cloud's MLOps, which I think is a really, really, really cool product. So if you come into MLOps right here, you can actually see, and I didn't do anything here, you can see that I have this Iris demo project. It has auto-linked the projects that I have created inside of Driverless AI to MLOps. So if I refresh MLOps right here, you can see that I have two models, Iris Demo 1 and Iris Demo. Now, if I come into this guy, you can see that I have either one of these guys. This guy is in the dev production, or is in the dev environment, and this guy hasn't been deployed yet. That's the experiment we just ran. And so I can do deploy to dev, for example. If I do deploy to dev, obviously in prod, you would add some level of security, some, passphrase stores hash, or, some passphrase that is, hash or encrypted. The artifact, I'm going to deploy the Mojo, and then I'm going to click confirm. And you can see that it's starting to provision this Iris Demo 1 right now. So it's automatically going to prod, it's creating the gateways behind the scenes, it's doing all the hard stuff inside of AWS automatically. You can see that this first guy's state is healthy because I've already deployed him to prod. And from this guy, I can actually, once it's done launching, I can create an API endpoint. So if I came in here on either one of these guys for that matter, and I do show sample request, I can just click copy request. So it's a curl for us to test this endpoint. If I come back into Jupyter or any IDE for that example, and I just paste that curl in, print it out, boom, we get an API score. So you can see that this guy clearly thinks that it's Iris ceratosa, right? He's got an 83% probability. We got 16% for versicolor and basically 0% for virginica for this guy. So API endpoint, super quick, super easy, really nice. But the other cool part about MLOps is I can do things that I haven't been able to do elsewhere in my personal development of like A/B testing really, really, really fast. So if I click on these guys right here, if I just highlight them just to click and do this guy, I can actually A/B test the two models against each other. So if I click A/B test, I can actually tell it what percentage of traffic I want to go. Let's say I want to go 80 to the original model, and then if I just click down here, it'll fill it in with 20. I can select the environment if I want to go to dev or prod for these individual guys, and then you can instantly A/B test the traffic flow to both of these. It will just partition the API endpoints. You can see that I have two models right here, and I can click actions, and I can actually click on challenge 4. Which is now you can champion challenge the models, right? So the original challenger, right? So I'm picking the champion, right? The guy that's already been up and winning for me. I have the Iris Demo. And then the challenger, I can do Iris Demo 1. And again, I can create a champion challenger effect in dev or prod and compare the two models against each other. Beyond all that, you can actually come in here and actually build custom apps inside of these categories. So you can click on like my apps. I don't have any apps because I haven't created, but you can actually create like graphics that are coming off of your individual experiments and models. The other really cool part is that you can actually come into monitor inside of MLOps. So like if I click on this guy and I click on monitor, see that when I click monitor, it'll actually bring me to a Grafana dashboard. Now this actually, I can't log in because I don't have a Grafana account, right? And this is just a demo. But if I were to click login, for example, I would end up so that I could actually see like latency that's coming off the endpoints and all the intrinsic things that are traditionally, you have to piece together from like CloudWatch logs, and you can see them coming right back right at you. So here's how you can actually monitor deployments, and this is within their documentation, so you can always come to it and then, obviously like watch the tabs, how I learned how to do most of this stuff. You can monitor the driverless AI and ML deployments. And, honestly, this GIF is pretty self-explanatory. So this is the Grafana dashboard that, again, I wasn't able to log into just because I don't have the Grafana password. But I come into projects, right? I click on the guy that I just showed you, right? I click monitoring, comes on through. Here's a custom dashboard. It can show me like the type of features that are coming in, the metadata that's coming off the model, the latency, the scoring latency requirements, the number of samples that have been coming through, like the dashboard, like the specific histograms of the types of features that are coming through your model. It's pretty neat. So I hope that was super informative. I know it was quick, but I just wanted to show you like how fast you can iterate on these models. When you're using this product and just rapidly go through. For anyone that doesn't know, I actually don't work for H2O. I just like their product a lot. I think it's super useful, and so I just kind of wanted to throw it out there for anybody else that wanted to check out how fast you can iterate end-to-end pipelines. I have never been able to replicate that level of speed on my own. I don't know anybody that can do it as an individual. Let me know. I appreciate your time, guys, and have a great day. Thanks.